Namaste, welcome everyone. You might be asking, Ashton, why does it look like you're wearing pajamas? Well, it's because we're going to be doing a practice, even though it's light outside, that is a wonderfully restorative practice that you can do to help you sleep right before you go to bed. So we've got a few things that we're going to want for this practice. I have a lot of yoga bolsters. I'm a yoga teacher, so naturally I got lots of bolsters. I'm only going to use one today, but I also grabbed some couch cushions to demonstrate you can use any pillows that you have around your house. You'll want one, hopefully, that's a little bit more stiff, and the other two can be stiff, but they can also be a little softer. These are a little softer, and I'll show you how you can kind of fold them up and bring them underneath you. And then you'll also want some type of belt, strap. If you don't have any of those sorts of things, a towel will suffice. So at least have those things, as they're going to help with the practice today. You're also going to want access to either a wall or couch or bed. So you can do the same thing, but utilizing a couch or bed for this later. So if you don't have those things, pause the video, go ahead and grab them, and come back and join us when you're ready. If you do have those things, we're going to get started. So we're going to start by taking our stiffer, bigger pillow or bolster and placing it behind us. For now, you'll only need your 3 cushions or pillows that you have. You can set your strap aside, but make sure it's handy and nearby so you don't have to go reaching around for it later. You can set that aside for now. And then bring the back of your hips to the bolster. And begin to lay back on the bolster. So your hips aren't actually elevated, they're still resting on the floor. It's allowing this nice gentle back bend. And then take your pillows. Now check into how they feel. You essentially want them to go into a place where they're giving support for your outer hips, but not preventing the outer hips from opening. So you can place them a little closer. You could fold them up if they're softer. So if I were to fold these up and just put them underneath my leg, I'm not really getting any sensation in my inner thighs. My legs are just hanging out there. So I'd want to either move that further out or flatten it more so I'm just getting some support this way. Bend your knees, bring the soles of your feet together. Then walk your shoulder blades a little closer together underneath you. Bring your arms by your sides. And if you'd prefer to simply rest your hands on your belly or your chest, that's also fine. Drape my arms by the sides with my palms up. Once you've found this spot, settle your eyes closed. Take a moment to simply arrive in your space wherever you are. Shift from the active, busy mind to the slower, more receptive, observing mind. Start to notice sensations in the body. Your breath. Start to deliberately take some deeper breaths, not with any strain or strong effort, but just with the gentle attention to draw the breath deep into the lower lobes of your lungs as you inhale. And exhale, you can go out the mouth or the nose, allowing the belly to fall. By deliberately taking some deeper breaths here, we're ensuring that we're eliminating any buildup of CO2 and making sure the blood is rich with prana and oxygen. It's also giving the attention a focal point to draw back to every time the mind starts to wander off to think about plans or worries or concerns, just getting caught up in inner dialogue with yourself. And keep returning to the experience of your inhale and your exhale. Emphasize smooth, long inhales and exhales. Now that you've been focusing on your breath for a short amount of time, start to redirect your attention back into the sensory experience of the body and notice at this point there's a little more clarity around tension and activity in the body. Notice if you've been squeezing your glutes, or if your inner thighs are active, or you've been tensing your jaw or any other part of the body. See if you can become more in tune with your exhalations and allowing those exhalations to help you connect to the relaxation response of any tension you might be experiencing in your body. You start to wake up some movement into your fingers and hands. Bring your hands to the outsides of your legs. Slowly draw your legs back together by using your arms rather than your inner thigh strength. You can slide one of your pillows aside and then roll off the pillow that you've been laying on to come onto your side. And take some time here. Staying intimate with the breath. When you feel ready, slide your bolsters aside, your pillows aside. And then find your strap or your belt. And return to your back. Begin with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. And then take your strap loop it around the right foot. You're going to go just beneath the toes and above the middle of the foot. So at the balls or at the base or just beneath the base of the toes. And send your right leg up. Now you can keep your left knee bent. That feels more comfortable for your right leg, or send your right leg down towards the floor. Or excuse me, send your left leg down towards the floor. If you're straining to hold on with the strap, give yourself as much slack as you can to simply hold the leg. We're not trying to muscle the leg down. And while the leg is going as straight as it can go, we're not trying to push the leg straight. Again, this isn't about a lot of effort. We're looking at surrendering some of the effort of the body, of our day. As the first shape encouraged more sensitivity and opening from the inner thighs, we're going to go to the outer thigh and hip. Take a hold of your strap in your left hand. Bring your right arm wide to the right, to the floor beside you. And then exhale, bring your right leg across you towards the left. It's fine if the foot comes to the floor. It's fine if it's floating away from the floor. See if you can keep your right shoulder blade down. If you feel any pinching on the inside of your right hip or thigh, scoot your left hip a little further underneath you. If you feel like your right leg is dangling and you'd like support, then grab one of your pillows and you can place it underneath where your foot or your leg is for a little bit more support. And connect back with your breath. Once we get into the pose, direct attention into the experience of breathing. So that you're deliberately taking long, deep, smooth breaths. And you can shift back and forth. If you've been taking some of those long, smooth, deep breaths, send your attention into the sensory experience of the body again. Start to scan the body and notice, where are you holding tension? What's resisting? What's straining in the body, if anything? And then get more intimate with the exhales to help the relaxation response. Your inhales will bring more sensation to those areas. You can use your exhales to see if you can soften any resistance you might be holding on to in those areas. You might also notice your digestion really starting to kick in, the gentle twist, which is creating some compression on the abdomen, as well as the deep breathing. It's all stimulating your rest and relaxation, your digestion response, all preparing us for a good night's sleep. Lightly press the back of your right arm into the floor. Inhale to bring your right leg all the way back up, and then reach for your right leg with both hands again. And then gently lower your right leg down to the floor, releasing the strap in your hands with as little fuss as possible. Allow a moment to notice the difference between your right and your left sides. Right leg is likely to feel lighter, which it is, as there's less blood in the leg. Might feel a little longer. And we'll go ahead and switch sides. Bend your knees again, bring them flat to the floor. Send your left leg up as you wrap the strap just beneath the left toes and send your left leg towards the sky. And stay there with your stay there with the right knee bent, or go ahead and straighten your right leg down towards the floor. Again, not using a lot of effort to hold on to your leg, just gently grabbing hold of the strap wherever it's comfortable. If you feel like your shoulder blades are off the floor or anything, slide, get enough slack with your strap or your towel so that the shoulders can rest beside you. It's fine if your left knee has a bend in it. Take your strap in your right hand, bring your left arm beside you wide to the left. And then exhale, draw your left leg across you towards the right. And it's fine if this side feels different and you want a different level of support on this side. Or if you had support on the other side, you don't want it on this side, great. Or perhaps you want support on this side and you didn't have it on the other side. It's all fine. We're all a little asymmetrical. But make sure when you find the shape that you're comfortable enough to be here. And then find your nice, deep, full breaths again. we spend some time with your breath. Send your attention throughout the body. Notice where there's any strain or resistance. Start to utilize your breath and awareness as a means of softening any strain or tension in the body. Inhaling to the areas that feel tight or active. And utilizing your exhales to soften the tissues in those areas. Gentle pressure to start. Push the back of the left arm down. Inhale to bring the left leg back up. And then grab a strap with both hands. And slowly lower your left leg down next to the right. Let your feet fall apart. Allow a moment here of sensation, breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Take your knees out wide. Turn the soles of your feet up and gently reach for the insides or the outsides of your feet. You can rock around a little side to side. Feel free to gently press out your feet if you like. Draw your legs back together and roll onto your side. Now at this point of the practice, we're going to utilize our wall space, or if you have a bed or a couch, you can do the same thing that we're doing and just let the lower legs rest on the bed or the couch, and we'll scoot up and do the same thing. So we'll get that sorted. You'll want at least one of your bolsters to help elevate the hips and your space next to the wall. You also, if you like, can grab a hold of your strap. I'll show you one more thing that you can do with the strap that we can get there, but I'm going to go ahead and set up at the wall, and you can do the same. Go ahead and grab your props and slide it over to wherever you're going. Okay, so here I am at my wall space, but remember, you could be doing this backed up against a couch or even your bed. Got the strap handy for those that might want it, but not really necessary, but I'll show you what you can do with that. We're gonna start by placing your pillow against the wall or up against your couch or whatever it may be. And then bring your hips right next to the wall. It's just gonna be easier to maneuver once you get here. Walk your hands behind you, and as you lay on your back, you're gonna keep your hips on your bolster or your pillow, keeping your hips as close to the wall as you can, and then send your legs up the wall. Now, if you'd like to help keep your legs together, you could do the loop in your belt. This really only works if you have a belt or a strap, not so much if you have the towel. Although I'm sure you could still jerry-rig it to work with the towel. You can place your legs in the loop and come down perhaps to the thighs and just tighten the strap. It just helps to keep the legs together. Again, not necessary, but can just give a little bit more comfort and support if you would like it. So our hips are elevated, legs are up the wall. If you don't want to have them straight up and you'd rather take your legs apart, or again, if you're at the couch or a bed, perhaps you're bending your knees so your lower legs are just resting on the flat part of the surface of the bed or your couch. Hands can rest alongside you or on your torso. Settle your eyes closed. Come back to your breath. Slow, deep, long inhales and exhales. Gently invite your attention into the body. If you notice any strain in the backs of the legs or tension anywhere else, utilizing your exhales as a means of softening any resistance or tension or activity in the body. It seems laborious to even have to direct your attention. Stay as connected to the breath as possible, but we're not trying to strain with anything here, but instead really softening and letting go of activity. One of my first teachers used to always say, little breath, little relaxation. Deep breath, deep relaxation. So even though it might be tempting to let your breath get small at this point, and eventually that's fine, for now you want to keep the breath long and full, really stimulating the relaxation response, allowing the parasympathetic nervous system to kick in and the blood to get rich with oxygen. Not straining to breathe deeply, but just keeping awareness on the deep breath. Begin to gently wiggle your toes, your fingers. Bend your knees to slide your legs or your feet down the wall. If you have a strap, you can undo the strap in your legs. And slide your bolster aside, roll off the side of the bolster onto your side. Feel free to spend some time here, either laying on your side or on your back again. Because from this place, it's the time when we can crawl directly into bed. Now that you've deregulated the nervous system, given the body some very gentle stretches, and just from wherever you are, go ahead, crawl into bed. Hopefully for a nice, sound, deep sleep. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you find this practice useful and helpful. It helps you get a wonderfully deep and restful sleep. Thanks for joining me today. Anugrah hitosmi.